It's Thursday, February 1st, 2024. Peace is a path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this morning, court orders arrest of Rivers State Government House Chief of Staff Edison Ehe despite prior restraining order. Rivers State Government defends recent appointment of acting agency heads. Death toll in Monday's Nembe Jetty fire rises. And on the foreign scene, Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg apologizes to families in U.S. Senate hearing. I'm Ipichuku Moyo with the news. A federal high court in Abuja has ordered the arrest of the chief of staff of the Rivers State Government House, Ehe Edison, over his alleged involvement in the burning of the State House of Assembly. Justice Winter gave the order while delivering ruling on Wednesday in an ex parte application brought before him by the Inspector General of Police. Mr. Ehe Edison is to be arrested along with 5 other people in Port Harcourt for allegedly participating in some criminal activities. The others are Jinjiri Bala, Happy Benedict, Progress Joseph, Adokiye Oyagari, and Chibike Peter, also known as Rambo. Yesterday, a state high court in Port Harcourt restrained the police from arresting, detaining, and harassing the chief of staff, Edison Ehe. Justice S.H. Aprioko granted the motion filed by Mr. Ehe, who asked the court to stop the police or other security agencies from arresting him following allegations that he was involved in the invasion of the State House of Assembly complex. Correspondent Mekotoka reports that the matter was adjourned to February 6 for hearing. As you may know, the Martin Amehule-led State House of Assembly had written criminal petitions against Edison Ehe to the State Police Command following the invasion and burning of the Assembly chambers by hoodlums in October last year. Meanwhile, the members of the PDP Ward 12 in Ahoda East local government area of Rivers State are felicitating their son, Edison Ehe, over his appointment as the Government House Chief of Staff. This is contained in a statement signed by the leader of the ward, Dennis Ololube, the former Principal Secretary of the Government House, and the former Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Local Government Affairs, O.J. Akiri. The statement said Mr. Ehe's appointment is the reward of steadfastness, exemplary maturity, and principled loyalty. The statement also rejoiced with Governor Fubara over the Supreme Court judgment, which affirmed his election victory. It said the judgment has validated a clear mandate freely given to the governor by the Rivers people. They believe the tenure of Governor Fubara will positively turn around governance in the state. In the meantime, the Rivers State Indigenous Teachers Association has joined in felicitating Governor Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu on the Supreme Court judgment that affirmed their election victory. A statement jointly signed by the chairman of the body, Ndimele Loki, the secretary, Prince Nwajari Okechukwu, and the vice chairman, Gilbert Amadi, also commended Governor Fubara for appointing 7 school principals as permanent secretaries. They said the recent appointment made by the governor have proven that he is a godsend. The statement added that the various policies of the current administration will bring the needed rapid expected changes in the different sectors of the economy. The group further congratulated the governor on his 49th birthday celebration and wished him long life and prosperity and prosperous years ahead, even as they asked God to give him divine guidance to pilot the affairs of the state. In another development, the Rivers State Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, has defended Governor Fubara's recent appointment of acting agency head. As you may know, the State Assembly forwarded 3 specific appointments: Goodlife Ben as acting chairperson of Local Government Service Commission, Ina Briggs as acting Director General of the Bureau for Public Procurement, and Tonte Davis as acting administrator of a non-existent New Cities Development Authority. But speaking on Nigerian 4FM's Morning Crossfire, the Information Commissioner faulted the state lawmakers' recent action towards the governor.
His Excellency is in trying his best to see how to diffuse tension, but it does appear that the legislatures are not complementing that effort. There's nothing wrong in appointing somebody on acting capacity. So I want to think that the lawmakers are not able to appreciate the peace dimension of the Fubara-led government. I want to appeal to them as brothers and friends to please, let's shoot the sun and allow this ship to sail. All these threats and counter threats are not going to help anybody. anybody. But we're still thinking that a governor of a state does not have power to appoint anybody on an executive capacity.
Okay.
That's unheard of.
He also clarified that Governor Fubara has no issues with the newly reappointed commissioners, as speculations trail the governor's warning to the commissioners not to sabotage his government.
The governor's statement is not an ambiguity. I don't want us to read meanings. Anybody who has the right to hire has the power to fire. So it's simple, it's simplicity. It's not in my place to even say with the government of Asinala Fubara. In the past, commissioners were sacked and functionaries of government sacked and replaced. So I'm not envisaging that. It's not in his nature, but it's in the rule book that if you underperform, of course, you know the consequences. Their coming will be to add value to the system, like as advised them.
The Information Commissioner further spoke on local government elections.
Is it not constitutional? It's statutory. We cannot, if you have overseen your term, there's no use anybody can keep you. So the governor has not specifically what he wants and when he wants the local government election conducted. Mandatory on him, there is a constitutional matter. I believe that as a stickler to the rule, he will not deviate.
Still to come, death toll in Monday's Nembe Jetty fire rises. Stay with us.
The leadership of the People's Democratic
News. The death toll in Bonibili Nembe Jetty fire incident has risen to 7. This is as a relative of one of the survivors told a correspondent that her sister lost 4 of her children aged 3, 5, 8 and 13 while traveling from Port Harcourt to Nembe. A survivor, Rebecca Ekine, also spoke to a correspondent from her hospital bed.
I was in my boat. I now saw the man just that's the injury. I just see something just out. Look, that is the fire. Nobody sees. I was the person that was shouting, see fire, see fire. So we walked started running. The whole place blocked. So we don't know where to pass. The fire now jumped to our boat. I don't know what to say. I was holding one of my sons and the other of my daughter. Somebody was holding her. So I now jumped into the water with my son. After that, I don't know again.
Meanwhile, residents of Onuokolo Street in Woji, Obiakpo local government area are worried that the smoke from the fire incident at a paint factory in the area could trigger another fire. Recall that there was a fire outbreak at the company on Tuesday. Some of the residents who spoke to a correspondent also called on the River State government to look into the establishment of petrochemical industries within residential areas.
Compounds around that place were seriously affected, but my own was just like directly facing the factory. If you look at the whole place now, everywhere is scattered. People in that my particular block, maybe for 2-3 weeks now, they won't be able to stay in that place because the roof is out.
When people saw the fire now, because of the magnitude, people started rushing out to take their property out. So in the process, some were looted by. That's what happens most of the time. People will run away with things that don't belong to them. Some got damaged in the process of evacuation, and then the roof of the house and the ceiling is totally burnt up.
We need the government to check on the facility, to meet the owner, to ask him why it was situated in a residential area, not far away. If not for the quick arrival of the quick response of the fire service, it would have, the damage would have been, and I heard it was a private fire service team, not from the government itself.
A correspondent who visited the scene reports that the company was also producing water sachets and other nylon bags, 4 kVA generators, 1 flywheel engine, and one of the company's buses were completely burnt in the fire. 2 buildings sharing a fence with the company were also affected. In the same vein, a resident of Woji community, Bob Manuel Iwanibo, says he reported the activities of the paint company to the River State Ministry of Health in September 2023, but did not get any response. Mr. Iwanibo, in the email he shared with Nigeria Info FM, raised concerns on their mode of waste disposal, the movement of heavy-duty trucks, noise pollution from their generators, and the hazardous nature of the gas being filled into their cylinders. He called for the factory to be sealed and the owners prosecuted. Away from that, Chimene Churchill Nwagu, the palace secretary of Eze Gift Eziho Johnson, says that there is a court judgment empowering Eze Eziho Johnson to convene meetings with his council of chiefs. Churchill Nwagu said this while reacting to a statement credited to the Commissioner for Chieftaincy and Community Affairs, Charles Amadi, on the status of the occupant of the stool of Ezo Hapara IV. He expressed concern that there may be a crisis in the community if Eze Chikenwolunwodo continued to incite the community against Eze Gift Eziho Johnson and his council. He, however, urged the security agencies to hold Eze Chikenwolunwodo in order to avoid a breakdown of law and order in the community.
In a sister case presided over by Honorable Justice Mbo Abina of the High Court of Rivers State, the court ruled that Eze Gift Eziho Johnson and his group have the right to associate, to meet, to gather as constitutionally provided. Following the statement of the Honorable Commissioner, they said Mr. Chikewolwodo has been making utterances capable of causing a breakdown of law and order, and we want to alert the security agencies and the general public that if there be any crisis in Akinibu and Apra Kingdom, the Commissioner and Chikewolwodo should be held responsible.
Churchill Nwagu also asserted that the commissioner lacked proper briefing on the actual situation regarding the stool of Ezo Hapara IV.
We seriously believe that the statement was made without proper briefing and through state of affairs. That for the records, that the Majesty Eze Gift Eziho Johnson have challenged the purported removal at the State High Court with suit number PHC 1723-2016, and the Ministry of Chieftaincy Affairs are parties to this suit.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg has apologized to families who say their children have been harmed by social media during a fiery hearing in the U.S. Senate. Mr. Zuckerberg, who runs Instagram and Facebook, turned to them and said no one should go through what they had. He and the owners of TikTok, Snap, X, and Discord were questioned for almost 4 hours by senators from both parties. That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Court has ordered the arrest of the Rivers State Government House Chief of Staff, Edison Ehe, despite prior restraining order. The Rivers State government has defended recent appointment of acting agency head. The death toll in Monday's Nimbe Chetty fire has risen to 7. And on the foreign scene, Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg has apologized to families in a fiery U.S. Senate hearing. The news was edited by Chioma Esenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechuku Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.
I, Isaac Berebu Pakabo Sekibo, most warmly congratulate our governor.